My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We have been working every day on a new screen paint product that has been showing a great deal of promise. This is our Advanced Ambient Light Projection, XFER, stands for Transfer 44 Professional Black. Now, this is a screen paint, as I said, it's a spray-on application. It's very easy to do. We are probably going to advise you to prime the surface first before you apply the application. It just makes it easier. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to make an easier application, just prime the surface first. We also want to see exactly if the surface is going to take well to the primer. So we do have, I was trying to keep this as a one coat application, but it's much easier for people that are just working with a paint spray the first time to prime the surface, because it'll be easier for the surface, the product to actually graft to the surface. So we advise you prime it. All right, now any primer will work. At first we had our own primer we thought we were going to use, which would be a black primer, which would make it, we thought the product wouldn't be able to attach itself to the surface with one coat. We didn't want to go through a two coat application. This is stuff we're learning through as we're testing this product. Priming the surface one time and applying it with the application, not a problem. We still want to see if the person primes it with a lighter primer, is it going to be able to convert that to black? Or if they do it with we know if we do it with a darker one, it's automatically going to do it, but these are things we need to test out. So we got a screen paint downstairs. It's not even a primer, but just to make sure it basically lands on it, just to make a difference if it's primer or not, it still should work with no problem whatsoever, as in other products we develop. All right, so as we go along, we're going to be doing all these insane tests. As you can see, we're rigorously working on the screen, testing it. One of the tests, which is a very important test, is called a black versus black test. We did that one earlier today. We come back, we do it again. Now, black versus black test is where we make sure the screen is not matching house paint or other materials, because that's the last thing we need. We don't want a product matching house paint. On the far end, we have house paint. On the middle, we have film. We get that a lot. People saying, if I can use black film, can I get the same reaction? And on the other end, we have black fabric. It doesn't match any of this. Number one, these screens, as I said before, are actually surfaces. Can't say the screens are surfaces. At the end of the day, yes, they can register black light. Any surface that's black can register black light. The biggest issue you're going to have is, can the screen read white light? This is why we see people doing false demonstrations versus products, that when the screen is coming up that dark versus all the testing we just did on the product, we can clearly see that they're basically falsifying the demonstration by using something to make the screen look extremely dark and try to claim it as our own. That's the reason why we request batch numbers, receipts, all that stuff, so they can say, hey, look, I did purchase the product. Another harder way to get around it is the batch numbers. All screens have batch numbers attached to them. Batch numbers clearly show exactly what the product looked like before it was ever shipped out the door, showing that the product is functioning correctly. So we advise people very strongly, do not commit these crimes against our products, because this is what will land you in court. And it's extremely hard to get around a batch number. Trust me, it doesn't go well. All right, so with that being said, I forgot, I got to file a court claim today. I'll take care of that today. We got some people we're bringing into court for dumb stuff, for dumb stuff. All right, so let me see. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We got to file that claim too. I got to do that today. I'm gonna do that today when I call in. We'll get that done. All right, now what we're gonna be doing today is a black versus black test. In this demonstration, I said before, we show our products off versus different black surfaces. Now, what most people will do, if they're trying to make a black screen, try to produce higher white levels, they will go with a projector with a high lumen. We got 4,000 lumens. Let's just show you with a 4,000 projector, this will not work. And this comes in extremely handy when we are doing orders, or we need to back up our products. We can send these videos or pictures over to our customers so they can see what they're purchasing. Unlike other people, or people who sell these products, will not do this demonstration because their product will match, and that will become extremely difficult for them to be able to sell the product. All right, so right here we're showing a basic white background Let me see if I can figure out exactly where I put my remote control. Right, there we go. It's a basic white background showing you which one pulls the higher white level. All right, let's go over to blue screen. She will not fight me today. There we go. This is the reason why you do not use everyday black paint. You do not use black fabric, or you do not use black film if it's not coated. If our technology was hitting any one of these surfaces, they would be seeing white light. That's why the images come up so dark. When we watch, like I said, demonstrations, and we're seeing these demonstrations coming up too dark and some fake demonstrations, especially, again, when they can't bear product purchase information, we clearly already know the product is not working. Do you see all the tests that we've run underneath the screen? 38s, 39s, phantoms, 8s, all of those have to go through rigorous testing before we can put them on a website, before we can actually accept money from our customers. They have to be tested. So this is how we know when we watch demonstrations from all the testing that we do on our products, that when someone is doing a falsified demonstration, we can see you. Red screen. Now, the paint we have here, is Dynasty. This was an item that was told that it would do the exact same thing our product would do. No. When we sit there and we watch the ingredients that some of these people put out and they try to say, hey, this is how it's made, you're not even close to how it's designed. There's red. Green screen. Okay, anything hope that we don't have our speakers are not running. There we go.
Line in.
Sky blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Okay. Now you see how dirty the paint comes up? How it has that dirty off look to it. The film comes up completely black, and the fabric, well, the fabric basically doesn't, it comes up very dark. This is the reason why we have demonstrations and picture demonstrations, which I'll show up when I'm in a post of our products versus, we have videos of our products versus a screen that's sprayed to a screen that's non-sprayed. We have to have all these tests. Pink screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
"4K snow screensavers."
Getting that from YouTube.
Fresh Direct is known for amazing food and represents the heartbeat of New York.
Recently, we got a letter from someone who loves Reese's. A real...
Like I said, dirty, dingy look. Got the black paint, black film, and black fabric are pulling up. Because these screens can see a contrast level because they're black. They're not going to have that problem. Well, not screens, surfaces, because they're not screens. But when it comes to white levels, they can't register and read white light. And that's extremely important, especially when you're to have a screen that needs to pull color. Color involves white light. That's what people don't understand when it comes to projection. They think it only involves a scene which is white. No, it involves color. It's very important. You have to have a balance of white and contrast when it comes to color. This is the same test of 39, 38, phantoms, 8s, all of them. We have tests on all of these products that have to go through the black versus black test. The problem we see is we don't see other products that are black doing the exact same demonstrations. Never do we see them doing that demonstration. You know why? Because their product's going to match. This is why when we request a pour out side by side, showing that both products are black, we don't get that demonstration from other people because their products are not going to match. This is the stuff that you're supposed to see. These are tests. If you go to our website, all our tests are posted to the website. When you go to the website, the first you're going to see is a huge video display of me painting on a screen. This is very important because the customer needs to see the difference between this product and this product. They need to see the difference between, we have it at 1,000 lumens, we have it at 4,000 and 5,000 lumens. This kills every scenario. The reason why you don't see people posting this to their website, because they will match the product. None of these videos ever get deleted. Not one of them. And again, we can't express that enough. We can't express that enough. And everybody should know this by now. Everybody should know human nature by now. If you're not equipped to know human nature, you're not in touch with reality. The minute someone starts to hide evidence means they are now considered guilty. If you have a company who has been doing something like cooking the books, doing something they shouldn't be doing, and they've been caught under investigation, the first thing they'll do is start deleting or erasing or burning files as fast as they possibly can. So that way they can minimize the damage before they go into court. They can fight some of the damage, they can't fight all of it. So they will basically try to get rid of the evidence. Getting caught getting rid of the evidence clearly makes you guilty. The whole thing about Nixon, Watergate, and being caught tampering with machines to try to landslide the results in his favor and getting caught, which means it became an impeachment and he had to go because he got caught. There you go. There's no way around that. When someone gets caught removing evidence, and they're stating in this evidence that this is making them innocent. There you go. We have to explain it to people. And it's a shame because really there are some people who do not understand the concept of trying to hide evidence is makes you guilty. So we have to explain that to them because they don't have a proper grasp on reality, how it works. But this is what we try to explain to them, but they just don't seem to get it. It doesn't click. So in these demonstrations we don't delete them. We do them live. Everybody can see them. Everybody can see the difference between the technology we have here and the technology versus black paint or whatever form of black surface at the end of the day. Black screens cannot read. If they're not basically with our technology embedded into them, they can't read or accept white light. Sometimes we'll get up close to show you. I don't like to be close up on top of the screen, but yeah. They don't accept it. They can't read it. It comes up dirty. That's the problem that I see with a lot of some so-called black screen paints on the market is they have a really hard time registering white light. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, also too, our technology, where we make it, comes in a different shade. Our screen paint can be poured out and will match. It's dark as black paint, but it's not the same shade as black paint. Black paint comes in multiple different shades. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or one of those places, and you go, hey, can you get me a quart of black paint? They're going to come back and reply by saying, what color do you want? because it comes in different shades. Our technologies all come in different shades. See right there on the salmon, a piece of salmon. We do this for those of you say, look, you can see. No, it doesn't match in any way whatsoever. It's coming up too dark. It can't accept and read the white light. See the color of the salmon? You see how dirty it's coming up? This is why we explain to people, do not try to cut corners. You know, our products, we have products that range from the screens that you don't have to paint at the end of the day. If you don't want to paint the screen, you don't want to build a frame. This is a screen at 150 inches and not require you to paint or build a frame if you don't want to. Mine's hanging right from the wall right here. So you can see I'll back it up a little bit. And there's no frame attached to this at all, period. No frame. If you want the 38 Black Widow is attached to the ceiling, we like that up there because it shows the screen's incredible capability to be able to pull such high white levels and contrast and color without fading out or washing out, due to the fact that it is sitting directly on top of the ceiling. There is no screen out there on YouTube painted to the ceiling and that's producing an image with no problem whatsoever when the screen is taking in a ton of ambient light, because the light itself is embedded into the screen. It's the ceiling. And right here, as you can see with the 44 Professional, for short, we call it 44 Professional, you can see that basically none of the surfaces are matching. All our screen paints have to go through these tests. And like I said, these are tests we do not see on people who claim to have products that are black. We never see these demonstrations being done at all. Let's continue on. The problem you have with these surfaces are that they're producing too much contrast, and because they're producing too much contrast, the screen is going to have an extremely difficult time trying to bring up proper color tones, as in white levels are going to be an issue. As you can see with the black paint here, see where it's coming out completely dark, how the skin is dirty. It's picking up the black contrast with no problem. But when it comes down to those white levels, it can't see it. The screen's coming up dirty. That's because the screen can't accept or read white light at all. This is why we explain to you that when we watch these demonstrations, gentlemen, and we see this, or this popping up on the screen, we automatically know on the door that the video is falsified. And not only that, and I can't express this enough, I'm requesting my receipts again. Now, the reason why we're requesting receipts is because we had an individual do a dirty demonstration where he basically claimed to have a product, and we are still waiting for our receipts on this product, which we have not received yet. We've already gone to about a month and no receipts to be found, which clearly shows within the day, we all know, that the demonstrations were falsified to try to make the product look bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to do demonstrations right now on the products we have here on the 44. I explained to you that anytime that you see people take so much energy into one product, it clearly shows that they are threatened by it. But again, like I said, from our tests, as you can see, that comparing our tests to whatever test they do, you can see that our tests are even unmatched because they don't do the same test. But there you go right there. It just shows you. Now, the reason why we need these, and I'll be taking a bunch of pictures after this and putting the slideshow and back onto the website, because this is very important, because our customers need to see these demonstrations. And this is what I was explaining to the individual, that those demonstrations that he did need to be posted to his website so the customers can get a comparison on which is which, and you can have information to send to your customers if this question ever happens to come up in a conversation. And again, I never posted to the website. As I told you before, it was not going to happen. And I told you that maybe the videos could go missing because it's the history of the individual doing such acts like so. And guess what? Videos went missing. And not only did they go missing, we recorded them in a live stream of them going missing. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, like I said, you get what you pay for. All right, let me see. Well, we need pictures of all of this because I need to send these out to the beta testers where we're doing the same demonstrations we're doing. They always do. And we need to have these on the website for slideshows so that way people can see the difference between the two. All right, so let's continue on. See right here, you see how the yellow on our technology is so bright? See how it's dark here? This is what I'm talking about. Now, this also, at the end of the day, helps a few people out, and I'll tell you why. We've had a company one time come in and say, well, you know what? We don't need your product. We're going to go to Home Depot. We're going to get some black paint. That's what we're going to do. We feel we're going to get the same reaction if I use a high-end projector with a lot of lumens, a lot of lights. We can get that to work. You know you will not get that to work. And what happened was the company went out, spent all this money on this black paint, about somewhere close to about, they needed about a couple of gallons, about 4 or 5 gallons at $23 a pop. And keep in mind, it fluctuates depending on where you live at. But anyway, they spent the money for the paint. They went out, they painted the screen. About 3 days later, they contacted us asking us how much and when can we ship out the product. Automatically, I knew from the door what happened. They painted it with that black paint, hit it with the projector. The contrast came out, everything else came out dark and dirty. That's what happened. Made a very big mistake. They had to contact us, take a slice of humble pie, and explain to us how much do we have to buy and when can you ship it out. We already knew what's going to happen from the door because we'd done the test. Of course, they tried to do this white cloud scenery and it came out dirty. That's why. The thing is you don't want to do is you don't want to match the product. Problem with black screens that are not done properly is you're going to find out that your white levels will not kick at all, period. they will come up so dark that, again, the screen has to be able to maintain and pull a high enough white level. And people think because they go buy black paint or they mix something together, they have the same thing we have. No, you don't have the same thing we have. Do you understand that you would have to match every single test under our technology to be our technology? And you can't get past the first test of pulling white light. And we see that a lot. And you see how dark that is, how dirty that looks. Look at the her shirt. Now, our technology is displaying several layers of white light. You can see the color of her shirt, it's bright white. You see her skin tone. When you come to the black paint, it does not pick it up at all, period. You see how dirty her white shirt comes up? The film doesn't pick up anything at all, period. And then we hear the excuses. One of the favorite excuses we see here, and usually we get the excuses from people that are naysayers, you know, that'll say that, hey, look, he's upping the camera's ability to be able to pick up white light. Well, if that's the case, then all the other screens would have that ability. I don't know what camera there is out there in the world that can basically go into editing mode right from the door and give you the ability to be able to just pick up your image only and skip all the rest. This is where we tell individuals who have that excuse, that's an excuse because you have nothing left. It would be virtually impossible for the camera to fire off. We have here, our camera here, right there, camera here, to be able to fire a special brightener to only hit our screen and miss all the other screens. What camera is that? I have a Galaxy Note 10 Plus, I think that's what it's called. That's my phone. So how is it possible, and anyone else who owns this phone, that if you have 3 different screens, including your own, that it's only making contact to your screen and the rest of these are not being hit? How would that be possible? That'd be like the 4,000 lumen projector we have sitting behind us is only hitting our screen and it's not hitting the rest of them. Now, we're all born with common sense, some less than others, but still we have common sense, and you know this from the door. If you don't know this from the door, then there's a good chance that you are going to be taken all your life because you don't understand reality. But that'd be virtually impossible. Now, what we have challenged, and again, they have not been able to back it up, is real environments where the screens sit at. I cannot express this enough on why we don't see this in demonstrations, not only with the individuals, but with other people too. We see the exact same demonstration, if worse, a darker environment, or an environment that basically where it's ambient light control, where they can pick up better contrast and colors, and then they'll put in a high-end projector to try to fix or correct, and then they'll calibrate it. Yeah, that's a lot of smoke and mirrors at the end of the day. So again, these people are making these accusations. These are the same people that sit in these dark environments doing these particular acts, and yet we still have not seen these screens in their actual natural environment. All right. So again, as you can see, we're going to do this demonstration again. I love doing these demonstrations. See where the white level is coming up on her shirt? See how this, her skin tone, all this is all different shades of white levels. That's what I love about this demonstration right here. Let me play a little bit so that way we don't come out of this. You see her hair that's black, they're all going to be to pick up this right here. No problem. The problem they're going to struggle with is this white level. Now, this paint we're using is called Dynasty. I had this picked up at Home Depot personally because we had an individual who kept claiming that our product was Dynasty paint. When I saw the ingredients of what you were trying to mix to make our products, I couldn't stop laughing. It clearly shows that you do not know what you're doing when it comes to black technology. You are so far from it, it's not even funny. At that, you don't even know how to make gray screen paint. We know that already from the door because, again, we are still waiting for the 7 digital 1 crystal screen paints to be made on live on camera, and they haven't been done yet. Still waiting. We've already seen the rest of it. We're good. We want to see that too also. But anyway, let's move on to our test demonstrations because, again, this is a product that they're extremely threatened over. So anything you may try to do to try to disclaim the product by saying, hey, it's black paint, is that any other? This is called a black on black test. We do them all the time. I guess he went in to say something about our product versus network gray. Now we know how the shoe feels on the other foot. All right, have you lost your mind a little bit there? We do all our tests with network gray in it because we have some people that will go out and they will have a white screen and they would figure going to Home Depot or Lowe's, not even dealing with shoe, Home Depot or Lowe's, and they paint the screen gray from coming from a form site or whatever, I can't say it's from, but a form site, they will paint the screen gray automatically. It's an automatic thing they'll do. And they think it's going to give them better contrast and better color. And that's why we do those demonstrations with the Network Gray 773 to show them that no, this is not going to work. You're going to get a slight bump, that's it, but you're still going to be in the dark, you're still going to be calibrating, and you're still going to need a powerful, expensive projector to fix or correct the problems. And even at that, your screen still, it's going to fail. It's going to fail miserably. You're just getting a little bit of a hiccup, that's it. So that's why we do that demonstration on Network Gray 773. Okay, so I have to do this right here. So as you can see, our technology, black versus black, 4,000 lumen projector, because that's usually what we go through. People will go out and get a 4,000, 5,000, thinking the higher lumens I get, the more white light I can pull from the black surface. We're here to tell you it's not going to happen at all, period. All right, let's get our color pattern, which is very important. And that's it. We've had people come up and say, hey, look, I can use a black bed sheet or black whatever and do the same thing. I'm like, no, you cannot. This is not going to work. It's not going to be the same as ours. It's going to come up dirty. And that's what happens. It comes up dirty. Now, let me see. I want to use this here. I gotta get pictures and everything. I gotta be on a form set anyway to show this off. So we have to be up early in the morning because what test are we running today? Well, we have the knockoff projector sitting behind me. We are doing that demonstration. I had to do a 3D mapping application because they want to see how 3D mapping actually graphs to the screen. Oh, what else are we working on? The weather is nice. We'll be outside. We're a 1,000 lumen projector, and I'm thinking since I'm early in the morning anyway, and the sun hasn't come up and doesn't look like there's any rain outside, I can pretty much probably do some demonstrations tonight, which I want to get out there, or this morning, which would be tonight. You know what I'm talking about. We did it also. Downstairs, we have the 120-inch screen we're building. Unfortunately, the surface we got was nice. It worked well, but it wasn't big enough to cover the screen. We needed to wrap around the screen. So I got a 120 by 70 instead of 120 by 60. And this one actually is a lot more thicker, but it's still a 1 mil, which we do need in thickness to wrap the screen because it has to fit nice and tight as this one's fitting right here. We have to paint that one with you don't have to need primer at the end of the day when it comes to our technology. You can use anything. House paint, it doesn't make a difference. As long as you just put it over the surface, that's basically about it. We are going to advise that you do prime the surface. Now, before we had a black primer, but we don't want to go and making a black primer saying you have to use a black primer, you have to use this. We want it where you can actually use whatever you want. So you don't have to worry about using primer. You can go get some cheap paint. It can be blue, green, orange, purple, whatever. But we need to see on our end that the product is going to be able to land on the surface, being whatever color it is, and be able to coat it. And that's what we want to see, if it can graft one coat to it. That's neither all tests are being done today. The surface, we have to make sure, the new surface we got from another company, we have to make sure that the product is going to work with that. This is a whole different surface than what we have over here. So that has to be tested. So all that will be done on the paint on demonstration. So my surface will be here today, hopefully. It'll be here today. We'll do the paint on application with the paint we have downstairs. It's basically something to cover the surface or prime it, whatever you're going to call it. and then apply your application and you're done, which should be fast, quick, and easy. All right. Like I said, we had a customer. That's my good friend. He was a customer. I told you at the end of the day, I am best friends with a lot of my customers. A lot of my customers are best friends. They're on my Facebook account. They're on my, they come to the house to visit from time to time, check out, see what I'm doing, what I'm working on. I don't mind because it gives me a break to break away from my work and have a conversation with them. So yeah, they come over, we talk, we chat and everything, we eat and everything. I'm good friends with. I have one customer I've known for about almost, let's say about 7 years. I've known him for 7 years. So I'm very good friends with my customer. He was blown away. He came and saw the screen. He was like, whoa, that's how impressive our technology looks. Anything we develop, when they walk through that door, the first thing they do is, whoa, what's this? When is this coming out? So and so and so. This is why we need the showroom. Because this screen technology that we have here will make us millions, and I mean millions of dollars in no time at all. Online, we feel like we're encaptured in a bottle. We make good money, don't get me wrong. We make very good money, but my business can become a multi-million-dollar corporation without selling out to a company, without dealing with banks and whatever. We want to do this the old school way. And the reaction we get from people when they see the technology clearly tells us we need to get this in a showroom, because the wow, shock and awe wow factor blows people away when they see how crystal clear it comes up, but even more when they see it on a 720p projector, because they're thinking we're using 4K or some high-end expensive projector to do this. And we said, no, this is an old projector. It's a 720p. It blows their mind. And that's why he was sitting there just shocked, staring at the screen like, you got to be kidding me. That's a 720p projector that's doing that? An old model at that. There you go. So once we get this thing into our storefronts, get it on display, and we got plenty of people that will come in and come see the screens, talk word of mouth, especially when you got people that are basically will come offline and travel to that state to see that screen in person because of you naysayers. You have paved the way for us. All the negative nonsense you said about our product, people will now come down to those showrooms and look at that screen to see whether or not if you're lying or not. Thank you for the publicity. That's what you've done for us. We're going to use your negative nonsense into something positive. So all the trash you've been talking about stuff being fake and it doesn't work and doing that, this is going to prompt people to get up and go down to the showroom and see the screen live in person. And when they see what that technology looks like for real, it's going to bring a lot of bad publicity towards you, showing you what you are. And on our end, it's going to bring us multi-million-dollar contracts very fast. We'll have people trying to kick down our door to get investments on this technology. Thank you. See, everything works out. Everything goes full circle. There's no such thing as what they call as bad publicity. That's what they say. So your negativity is going to push people to our storefronts to see it in real life. And when they walk in, they're going to get the same reaction as the customer did when he walked in and saw that screen. And that's it. Now imagine we have our everyday customers, but we're also going to have corporations, business owners, investors walking into that showroom, staring at that screen. As a matter of fact, we're going to have this maybe a little sooner because through 2 stores that are going to be advertising our technology, people are going to be walking in, they're going to be seeing that technology push through glass, they're going to see it outside, they're going to see it inside, and the first thing they're going to say is, what is that stuff you got over there? What's on the window over there? Oh, that's a company called Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Within our contract, and they have to tell them where the technology came from. They have to bear our logos with our emails and numbers and all that stuff right next to it. And they're going to contact us, but they already know this. The people we're doing business with already know this, and they're thinking, well, gee whiz, that's a lot of money that's going to be coming this way. How can I get some of that too? So that's why they are requesting for distributorship contracts from us. They already have an agreement contract. They want a distributorship contract because, for every person that walks into that store and wants that technology, right there from the door, and they're using old 720p projectors. We've requested the projectors for that to use, using those 720p projectors for the technology. They're going to make money, and they know they're going to make money. They're not stupid. They've been in business. I think people know business, so they want a piece of that too also. Not a problem. I have no problem with that. As long as you sign the contract and you follow the guidelines and everything goes well, then we are good. So not only are we getting advertising, but they're making money off the advertising, and we're making money off the advertising too also. All right, now I'm gonna have to come back in and do this video again. You know why? Because Mr. Bird went into talking about other things, and my cat is chasing something big. I can hear it. What is that? It looks like a giant beetle. I was wondering what he was stalking a couple of minutes ago. All right, got to get that out the door because I don't want to kill it. I can avoid it at all possible. And it's keep this joker from jumping up and landing and hitting the screen. So I got to come back in. We got to do the demonstration again. And this time I have to do it where I can't talk about nothing but the screen. Okay. I'll be back. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. I have to go. Thank you all. And God bless.